Ask4W app users, thank you for joining me. We've been following this Arctic front that's going to be moving through, so let's continue to track it. I'll turn around and show you my screen. We've got the most recent NAM 3KM. It's showing, I'm a little bit hesitant to commit to much accumulation with this system because there's just not a ton of moisture. Some of it falls as rain. In the higher elevations in the plot balsams and southern balsams, up Klingman's Dome, locations above 4,500 feet along the North Carolina-Tennessee border, we'll see this start as snow much earlier than I believe in the valleys. But temperatures will drop as that heavier precipitation is able to pull down those cooler temps. You can see around 9 a.m., 7, 8, 9 a.m., we could see somewhat of a flash freeze occur, and that those wet roadways could turn icy as temperatures plummet as this front moves through. You can see, I'll run this back, Tuesday around 5 a.m., moisture moves in. I believe this will start as rain, and then as that heavier precipitation moves in, we'll see a switch over to snow. Farther west, we'll see a little bit, this model believes a little bit heavier snowfall. I'm thinking this is really just a 1.5, 1 to 2 inch event, and a dusting to 2 inches around Buncombe County. I'll do an accumulation map in the morning and put that out, but not thinking that this will be the main concern with this is that the roadways are somewhat they're not particularly warm. It hasn't been that warm lately. And if we get some heavier frozen precipitation falling, I think it could stick quickly as that backside with the cold temperatures that we'll be pulling down. We could go into the mid 20s Tuesday as that pulls through, and then those cold temperatures really push through. And you can see as this front moves off, you get a little bit of lee side development, and I'll show you the accumulation map. But across Greensboro and maybe even in towards Raleigh, we could see some form of accumulating snowfall. These Arctic fronts are difficult to forecast, and a lot of times they bring some surprises to the Piedmont. We see some dry slotting occur here, even as far west as Henderson County, Polk County, Rutherford, McDowell, and Burke. These events are tough to get a good bit of snowfall. A lot of times the mountains just eat it up, and then there's some redevelopment. There's some lee side redevelopment that occurs, and could see snow showers even into parts of Charlotte Tuesday around noon, or 1 o'clock. So not exactly sure if that switch will occur, but this model is showing it and around Charlotte, and it definitely shows it in the mountains. Commute on Monday or on Tuesday morning will be a little bit dicey, especially in those higher elevation locations. We could see as much as 4 to 6 inches along the Tennessee border, some 6+, but I'm thinking a general 4 to 6 inches because you guys start as snow, and rates will be relatively high because temperatures will be cold up there. And then Wednesday morning we drop into the mid to low teens, and Thursday morning we get even colder as that low polar vortex kind of scrapes us. It's more up north, but we experience the effects of it as it rotates about. There's a little bit of clipper system action that could be northwest flow on the backside of this. This model doesn't really go out that far, but it could be into Wednesday at some point in the day, possibly mid-morning. We could see some a few snowflakes, but not super optimistic. Along the Tennessee border, I expect a little bit more action. The winds will pick up, and it's just going to be cold, very cold. But any moisture that does develop through with that with that backside northwest flow will be squeezed out with those really cold temperatures. Let's show you what the accumulation maps portray. As I run it through Tuesday, you can see those higher elevations around 4 a.m. Along the spine of the Appalachians, and then into the Blue Ridges down here, where into the Balsams along the Parkway. Those locations will begin to see accumulating snowfall late Monday night, and then as a stronger push of moisture moves through, that will switch us over to snow, and you can see a dusting is possible for many locations. Just really not that optimistic. This model shows around 2 inches in Boone, but just a tough call with this. I'm thinking that this is a dusting to an inch and a half for Buncombe County, but we'll refine that. And as you can see, this model runs out and around Greensboro. It drops a little bit more snow compared to Asheville with that lee side development and that enhancement. So kind of a nuisance event, but not such in the sense that it will be perfect timing to affect roadways. If this was coming in the afternoon around 1 or 2, I wouldn't be nearly as concerned about it affecting the roadways. But we could see that flash freeze, and the timing for it will be right when you are getting out to head off to work for your Tuesday commute. So please just keep that in mind and prepare for it, and be careful. So let's look a little bit towards the future. We've talked about this front that will be affecting us on Friday. Models don't really have a good handle on it, so I'm not really going to discuss it too much. There's some moisture in the Gulf as this Arctic air moves off the coast, and then it looks like we're going to get warmer into next week, and we'll have kind of a relaxation of the cold, and then into the second week of February, the cold could return. But I think that we'll see some cold through this weekend, and then you can see those low pressures begin to make their way up through the Midwest, and that cold air is bayed up. But mid-next week, it could make a return Thursday into Friday. But will be, for warm weather lovers, it'll be moist, but as usual, per usual for the past 6 to 12 months, we've been super wet around here. But I think that the pattern will relax for and what we were focusing a couple weeks ago on a potential storm that could be a bigger deal, and that was this storm here that's exiting off the coast. Just didn't come as far north. This low kind of messed things up, and we didn't really have a strong enough high pressure to push it up the coast. So just really didn't come to fruition. Some models, even as far as 6 days out, had it bombing out here and becoming a big storm, and we had somewhat of an agreement with that. But since it shoved itself way down south instead of developing here along the Gulf Coast, and that's the result. It can't get far north fast enough to affect western North Carolina, so we're just cold here. And sometimes that with these Arctic fronts, I've warned you guys that the models will struggle, and so that's why we're not talking uncertainties moving into even Tuesday, but also into Friday and Saturday. So with that being said, I'll wrap it up. Thank you all for joining me, and have a great evening.